Hello, Whitney. It's Tuesday, it's the 27th, and since I don't have anything else to say to you today, it's time for Harry Potter. Okay, we're on chapter 3. It's called The Letters from No One, and it starts off with Harry still being punished for his boa constrictor vanishing glass incident. By the time he's let out, it's the summer holidays. Dudley's broken most of his birthday presents, and it's just, they're getting ready to go into secondary school. They're buying uniforms. Dudley is going to a private school called Smeltings, and Harry is going to a public school called Stonewall. Just random facts that every Potter fan probably knows. And so one morning they're arguing over breakfast who's going to go get the mail, and Harry is, of course, made to go do it eventually. And so he goes to get the mail, and he has a letter. He has a letter addressed in green ink to, let's see, Mr. H. Potter, the cupboard under the stairs, number 4 Privet Drive, Little Winging, Surrey. Yeah, they know what room he sleeps in. Well, room. I use that term vaguely. And so he takes it back into the kitchen. Dudley sees it and freaks out, and Vernon and Petunia get their hands on it, send both of the boys out of the room, and then start having this very quiet conversation. What do we do? Do we write them back? What are we supposed to do? We're not having one of them in the house. And, so that's just a very strange thing, and next thing you know, Vernon's talking to Harry, and he lets him move upstairs into Dudley's second bedroom. And of course, over the next 24 hours, Dudley proceeds to throw multiple tantrums, hit people, and do all sorts of things, and by the end of the day, he still doesn't have his room back, which is really freaking him out. Really badly. And then the next morning, there's more letters, a few more, not just one, there's 3 or 4, and they have, they dress the same way, except now he's in the smallest bedroom. They know that he changed rooms. It's kind of weird. It keeps appearing, and finally, he's they do all this sorts of stuff. Harry is trying to get his hands on one of the letters. He wants to know what it is. But, he gets up early, and Uncle Vernon is, sleeping in front of the door. They nail the door shut, and owls still appearing in letters keep popping up, in eggs, of all places. They find ways into the house. It's very strange. And it's very strange. And then, of course, there's one day, they wake up on Sunday, and they're sitting in their living room is what we would call it, because we're American. Where they're sitting there in the parlor. That's it. That's the word. In the parlor. And, they're just eating tea and biscuits and hanging out. And Uncle Vernon is very happy because it's Sunday, and there's no post on Sundays. And just as he says that, tons and tons of letters come flying through the fireplace. And at that point, he's just okay, we're leaving. So they pack up the car and their suitcases, and they leave, and Uncle Vernon's just driving crazy. They stay at a hotel, and the letters are still just following them, and so eventually, he's just okay, I found a place, as he disappears, and once he gets back from disappearing, for an hour, he comes back, he's I found a place, and they take a boat out to this little shack, on this little rock, in the middle of the ocean, and it's storming, and they're just, sleeping there, and Dudley's on the couch, and Uncle Vernon and Petunia are in the bedroom, and Harry's on the floor, and they're sleeping there, and this happens to be the eve before Harry's birthday, which means it's July 30th, because Harry's birthday is on July 31st. Know it. And so he's just, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so, he just stays awake on the floor, because he's just going to count down to his birthday, because he knows he's not going to get anything for it, so he's going to have this little mini celebration by himself. And so he's sitting there, and he's going by Dudley's watch. And he, draws a cake in the dirt, and he's just yo, yay! And so he just kind of keeps watch on it. And as soon as it hits midnight, boom! There's a huge knock on the door, and Dudley just, wakes up, and he's freaking out. And Dudley just, it's horrible. And there's just a huge knock on the door right at midnight on Harry's birthday. And that's how the chapter ends. So there's that. My time is almost up. I will see you tomorrow, Whitney. Please don't forget. By the way, your punishment video, amazing! Bye!